Welcome back. Hey, Brooke.
Hey, John.
My apologies to everybody. I need to get a new MacBook badly. It's just, it's not keeping it charged. My Wi-Fi keeps going out. It's time. So that's why it took me so long to get this live going. I didn't want to do this at all, to be honest with anybody. I did not want to speak about this, but we've come to a point where our hands are tied, and it's just full out ridiculous. I'm gonna say hi to everybody in the chat right now. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna go I'm not gonna do a roll call. I just want to get this done with, and let's just talk about it and finish it.
Yes, he's fabulous, and he's on the inside scoop.
Ooh, look at that! All right. There's a lot of hubbub going on about things that we may or may not have said about Geoffrey over the course the last 3 days, and I didn't want to address this at all, but it seems that certain content creators and others are making a mountain out of a molehill, and that's being very generous, I would say, in that analogy. It's not uncommon knowledge that people are trying to ruin me, and it doesn't matter what they say about me. There's a certain group of people who are just on the offensive and trying to cancel me, ruin my friends, ruin this, ruin that, and just try and disparage me in any way. And now I'm at the point where it's game on. So on a private members only live, I believe it was Friday night?
Yes. Friday.
We were speaking about, on our private lives, we're candid, we speak to everybody, just what's what we do on the after shows. We say things that we probably can't say on the regular lives, and we go into, more depth because, private lives aren't monetized. You can really just speak what you really want to say and whatnot. And, when was Geoffrey's hearing? The sentencing was that Wednesday of last week, I believe, or no, it's Thursday. It was Thursday of last week. Friday night, we had went live on members only, and was briefly speaking about Geoffrey and things that we had witnessed and whatever. Everyone knows that I was friends with Geoffrey. I'm still friends with Geoffrey. Well, I haven't talked to him since, all that, but I was saying on my members live that when I was there, I had witnessed a couple of things that might speak for behavior that other people in the court was saying, because obviously I never heard court testimony from anybody else. I was just going off on what Geoffrey told me, because I always told everybody I never saw that side of him. He was always very nice to me, which is also true. I never saw that side of him. He was always very nice to me. Me and Geoffrey had a rapport for 3 years before he went on the show. And I will still say that Geoffrey has always been nothing but good to me. And I never saw anything bad, but when I was listening to, people on the stand, people on the witness, and hearing their stories, I'm like, all right, well, that might make sense to me a little bit, because I did witness a couple of things. And I said that on the live on Friday. And then people were like, well, what did you witness? What did you witness? I said, well, I and again, I was like, drinking, and I didn't want to like, be impulsive like I usually am when I've, thrown a couple back, because you know how I get. I really wanted to speak about it, when I was clear-headed and whatever. So that first members only live we did on Friday night, we were really talking about like the Jasmine and Gino stuff, first of all. And I have, just because the live is deleted doesn't mean I don't have it downloaded and saved. And the only reason why I deleted that first live on Friday night was because Brooke, we were talking about Gino and Brooke, I love you, and I am not mad at Brooke at all, but we were talking about Gino and Jasmine, and much like tonight, we were talking about like, how can they talk poorly about people in a certain industry, PORN, when Jasmine is on OnlyFans. And like, Jasmine was really like giving Lindsay a hard time for being in PORN, right? Meanwhile, there she is on OnlyFans doing the same thing. And like, we spoke about this on the last live earlier, like, Gino, how dare you, Gino, say that like, oh, she's an embarrassment to her family and her kids. Meanwhile, you are purchasing her time with you. So at that point, Brooke had like, showed on the screen, like, screenshots of Jasmine's OnlyFans. And because Jasmine has been reporting me and Brooke like crazy, like you've seen our Instagram posts, you've seen like how they're gunning for us because we're putting the truth out there. In my head, I thought, well, Jasmine's reporting me and doing everything she can against me. So yeah, I'm going to delete that live, because even if you make a live private, it's still there and it can still get reported and you could still get in trouble, whether it's privated, whether it's members only, nothing. As long as it's in existence, they can get you, because, we put the links in our story. We put the links on Twitter, and all you need is that link to report something. So, and I love Brooke, and I'm not mad that she did it, because I'm happy that Brooke showed that Jasmine was a hypocrite. But, knowing how aggressive they've been with reporting both me and Brooke, and then even seeing Katrina, they reported frauded for doing the same thing. I said, I make money off YouTube. So I am not going to put like my source of income in jeopardy so Jasmine can report it. So that is the only reason why I deleted that live. But I downloaded it and I have it. So during that live, that first live on Friday, I had said, I witnessed a couple things, and everyone's like, John, say it, John, say it. I'm like, I didn't want to, because again, we were drinking. I'm like, let me just wait. So that's all it took for people to go, the haters who are trying to cancel me no matter what I do, call me a racist, call me this, call me that. And now here's the latest. I witnessed Geoffrey assault a minor in his home.
That was never said.
Never said. And I might just re-put up the first live I did, because this is insanity. So again, there are certain content creators who are truth tellers and, splicing audio from that live in different parts, even splicing the chat from that live, putting the chat in different pieces to fit a narrative to try and take me down. Right? The cancel John Yates, the petition, the this, the that. Well, here I still am, and that didn't work for you. So let's take this next step now and say, oh, well, John witnessed Geoffrey attacking a minor. Are you kidding me? And I made this very clear on both lives. So I did that first live on Friday. Then, content creators who just have a weird obsession with me spun this as to saying I witnessed Geoffrey strong R word a minor.
Never said. Ever.
So here publicly, now this is all members only stuff. And if you're not a member, or if you're a member and you're not in the associate hag category, you can go and watch the live. It's up there. It's there. It's there. I mean, like I never faltered. I've had the same story. And again, for the umpteenth time publicly, I will say this now. We went to Geoffrey's house. It was right after we left Angela's. When we got to Geoffrey's house, Geoffrey had a visitor in his house. We tried to make small talk with her. We asked her what her name was, and she gave us some like really weird name. And I was like, okay, like maybe she doesn't want to be known. And then, like, we asked how old she was. She was like, I'm 25. And she looked really young, 20. And when I say really young, I mean like in your 20s. Like I'll be 43 next month. Like I'm not talking about like she looked really young, like an 8-year-old. I'm talking she looked young. Like, I'm in my 40s. People in their 20s, look at people in their 20s and look at people in their 40s. There's a difference. So to me, being 24 or 25 is young. That could be like my daughter if I had one, right? So she, but I come to find out, I spoke to Ashley, and because Ashley was there, and when all these YouTubers were coming out saying that I said that, Geoffrey was doing this with an underage girl, I go, well, that's what she told me. She told me she was 25. She told me her name was this. And maybe Geoffrey had told her in the beginning, listen, he's a blogger. Don't give her too much don't give him too much detail. Like, which, that's fine. But like, I'm just making small talk with people. Like, we were invited into someone's house. And once we got into that house, he had a house guest who was there while we were there at the same time. So like making small talk, hey, what's your name? Okay, where are you from? Okay, like how old are you? Like, like it just small talk. And that's what it was. Come to find out that this girl actually wasn't in her 20s, but was closer to my age. I had no idea. I was going off what she told me, and she looked like she was in her 20s. So I had no reason not to believe her that she was 25. And like, I never really put that much thought into it because I never spoke about it. The only reason why we spoke about it was because like after hearing like court testimony, I'm like, oh, because people are like, John doesn't say anything bad about Geoffrey. And, even I, had to like, maybe like rethink things after seeing what I saw when I was a visitor in his house. So that's that. Now, that night, this girl, by her own admission to us, was 25, which I believe, because she looked like, I had a young face. When I was 35, I looked 18. Now, in my 40s, it's kind of like I can't escape it, but I always look like I had a young face growing up. So I get what it's like to have a baby face and like, not wonderful. But so that night when I was there, here's what I witnessed for the record and publicly. We had a great night. It was me and Cody, Ashley, Geoffrey, and the woman, I should say. And, there were certain points in the night where I was like, at one point, Cody had asked this girl a question in the kitchen. It was about having babies.
No, I didn't. No, I did not.
What did you ask Cody?
No, I said, how long have you and Geoffrey been together? And she said, oh, well, we're not really together, but like, just for like a little while. And I said, well, that's fun, because she said that she was young. She told us that she was young. Like 25.
She did. She said she was 25 to us. But Ashley said no. Like she's in her 40s.
She told us. I'm sorry.
I had no idea.
I didn't ask for her ID or
her right. I'm like, oh,
I didn't ask.
Can I get like a check? I don't care.
Obviously, like she looked her age. You know what I mean? And like, okay, and whatever. And I was like, oh, well, do you have any kids? And then as soon as I asked her if she had any kids, Geoffrey stormed out of nowhere into the kitchen and said, you both need to shut the fuck up.
Stop with the cursing.
This. I'm saying word for word of what he said.
Shut the F up.
Well, that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work for me.
Cody.
And I looked at him and I said, well, wait a minute. I'm not talking about nothing. What are you talking about? And he said, I don't effing care. Just shut the F up.
And at that point, Cody, me and Ashley were in the living room, and that was happening in the kitchen. So like, I missed that. I did not hear that. But Cody was so upset. He grabbed me. He says, we need to leave now. And I said, what's going on? He goes, Geoffrey just snapped at me. And I said, what happened? And he just like he just said that
on the couch, and he was confused, and I got that. And
me and Ashley did not hear it.
So I went outside and I called 3 people,
It was Julie.
It was Christy, and it was Reagan. That's the 3 people. Boom. And I told them the same exact thing, the same exact story. And I said, I want to leave out of here because I was crying. And I said, I don't feel fucking effing comfortable.
So, and again, I'm like, we just got here. Like, maybe he just like, maybe that's like a hot button issue with him.
Yeah,
and
John came out. He's like, listen, just calm down. Like,
I didn't want to like, we were there for like 3 hours at that point. We just drove like a day to get from Angela's to Geoffrey's.
For John.
And then, like, after
that, I told you, I said, where's the keys? I'll take the car and I'll come and get you tomorrow.
After that, we still continued. We had fun after that.
We did. Even though we did not apologize, whatever John said, just stop. Like,
and
just
then,
let it go.
Maybe like 20 minutes later, we were all having fun again. We were, and that was it, and, what I did witness what else I witnessed during that was that, again, which I said 2 times now on Members Only Lives that people are dragging this out for, was that at one point Geoffrey had gotten into like a little argument with that girl, and he had taken her phone. And then when I was watching the testimony of like the people, I'm like, okay, I kind of saw that.
Before you say that though, John. She that.
But she was pissing. She was like pressing his buttons.
She was, and she was really, really like drunk herself.
Yes,
and
very
everything.
Drunk. Very
she kept
drunk.
going upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs. She's like, "Where did I put my shoes?" You don't need shoes to go up and down the stairs, and she didn't have shoes on in the first place. Like she was just like she was drunk, So. Of course, he told her. He said, "Go upstairs and just go to bed."
But she was like, and I'm being honest, like she was being like a little, like a bit extra.
Yes.
Because she did drink a lot, and like we were all drinking, like we were having a good time. It was, but she was kind of like taking it, like maybe like a little bit further. So, and she like at one point she was screaming, and like we were all there, and like it was weird.
She even felt, John, remember when she felt like when she was stepping off because Geoffrey has like a step down from his kitchen to his living room?
Yeah.
She just walked out like and then hit the floor. And then she just laid there and she's like, oh, I keep forgetting there's no like really like steps to this. You can see it's a small like step like down. Like that because you've been there. Like she was
either way, like she was like we were all intoxicated, all of us, and
but it never fell.
But she maybe and she was like tiny, like, a very small frame.
Very sweet girl,
yeah.
like very, very petite,
and I'm not
like,
even trying to
boobs,
say
like,
anything bad about
whatever.
her. I'm just telling you
No,
about
not at
how this
all.
really happened, because everybody wants to spin this into something it's not. So, and then, she was kind of threatening Geoffrey at that point, saying, I'm going to call her, and I'm going to call it. And then Geoffrey took her phone. But then, like, when I was listening to, the stuff, I'm like, well, I did see Geoffrey take someone's phone at one point, because watching that on court, having a friend, seeing like two different sides, it's a lot to process. And, people are like, John will defend Geoffrey blindly. And I'm like, no, but again, for the umpteenth time, I had never seen Geoffrey ever be mean to me. He's always been good to me, whatever. So that was that. So I witnessed Geoffrey taking the phone, and then, then she came back downstairs, and then again, we were all having a good time. I don't know if she sobered up or whatever, but like, even after that happened, she came back down, and we were still hanging out. It's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So the next day, Geoffrey had to go, and you could, look it up, because he had traffic court for a ticket that he was fighting. We left Angeles, we were at Angeles for the 4th of July. I think we let, when did we leave? Like 2 days after the 4th of July? It was like either July 5th, July 6th, we went to Geoffrey's, and then Geoffrey had traffic court during the day, got a ticket, and he was fighting it. So it was, we heard this girl on the phone with her mom, and like in my head, like, she was kind of saying like that she wasn't happy there, that she doesn't, she just wants to go home and whatever. And, it made more sense to me that she was in, she said she was 25 to us. She lied to us. But being in your 40s and talking to your mom like that, like, I can even imagine, like, if my mom was still alive and I was talking to my mom like that in my 40s, she would be like, John, you're in your 40s, get your shit together. But whatever.
Like, get the hell out.
Yeah,
of
like, it is what it is. So we listened to her talk to her mom on the phone, and she was unhappy and she wanted to go home. And then when Geoffrey got back, we kind of just watched TV, and he made steaks on the barbecue, and that was that night. But it was like, it was like kind of a little weird. So Cody and I wound up leaving the next day. We were supposed to go to Tiffany's in 2 days. We kind of, we went there. We just left early because, when we went to Geoffrey's, we didn't know that he was going to have a house guest.
You're still skipping a part of it, though.
What?
You're skipping because when you were up in the bathroom on the 2nd floor, I was already downstairs. Because I got up before you, and I went downstairs, and his dogs are always outside, and they're in a fenced-in, thing, and like whatever. So I said, and his dogs are like very protective of like, the property, like whatever. So I said to the girl, I said, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. I said, can you walk me out and show me where I can stand? So I, obviously the dogs don't like.
Oh, and like Geoffrey was like, he
So-
knew we were smoking, when we smoked a cigarette, like, we had to like smoke and like then waff, like, and like walk around. Because like, he didn't like the smell of smoke, even like, we had picked up a car for him. So when we went to Geoffrey's house, like, and we were coming from Angela's, he's like, can you do me a favor? I just bought a car in Atlanta. Can you pick up that car for me and drive it to my house? And I'm like, well, we're in Georgia. So, Atlanta's kind of on the way. So we drove from Angela's to Atlanta, picked up Geoffrey's car that he just bought. And then then I drove his car, Geoffrey's new car, and Cody followed behind in the Mustang. And, even when I got out of the car, and I didn't smoke one cigarette in that car, and like, it was like a 7-hour drive. I didn't smoke Right, Cody?
No,
I didn't
It
smoke because I'm not gonna smoke a cigarette in somebody's new car.
No, and he don't smoke, so
You
of
know,
course not.
like I
That's-
would
that's
never
not
do
your
that.
car. That's like,
But
yeah,
because
no.
I do smoke, and like I will say this, like when I got out of the car, he was like, "You were smoking in my car." I'm like, "No." I'm like, I might have like the stench of cigarettes on me, but like I'd never smoked in your car. He's like, "Oh, okay." Well, that's true. Like, even like, me and Cody pulled over because we were texting, and we were like, I don't know if we were in Tennessee or Georgia still. And I'm like, I'm dying for a cigarette. I hate you that you're in the car and you can smoke when you want. So like we stopped like a rest area, so like I could just like rip 3 cigarettes like and get back in the car. But I guess the stench, non-smokers smell cigarette smoke like a mile away. I mean, it is what it is. And I hate being a smoker. I hate the smell that like is around you, like, because it's gross, but it is what it is. So yeah. So, I dropped and when we were there, okay, so what else? Also, what I said on the members only live was that like, me and Cody were like there for like a half hour. But Geoffrey is very like particular or anal, like, the shoes need to be here, your car keys need to be here, like there's a spot for everything. And like when me and Cody smoked our first cigarette outside, which had to be like, away from the house because he didn't want the stench, which is, his house. I get it, respectful. Like, if you're a non-smoker, I get not wanting to have like that smoker stench in your house. But like, we were talking and I'm like, well, Geoffrey certainly likes things I was like, Geoffrey certainly likes things done his way, but we were guests in his house and he was like very nice to us. So of course I'm going to, and we just came from Angela's house. We were all ripping butts. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. But that night, so we saw, Geoffrey kind of got mad at Cody and the girl. And then I saw Geoffrey take her phone away for a little bit, but then she came back down and she was fine. Then I saw the next day that she was, talking to her mom saying that she wasn't happy. And for some reason, this is now by Shelby, Rabbit, Siwa, whoever. Well, that I witnessed Geoffrey assault a underage girl at his house. And that's why I have to do this live right now.
Which is categorically false.
Categorically false. Like, I mean, and like, you know what? Just, and it's just like the next thing for them to try and cancel me. Well, we couldn't get him on the racist stuff. So let's say that he allows SAs. Maybe we'll get him that way.
Conceals it. Let's call the DA and let them know that
they're calling the DA.
That John and Brooke have concealed Geoffrey's crimes. Yeah, that's what.
Or now, listen. If I had saw anything like that, first off, we would have been long gone, and B, we would have called the cops lickety split. Lickety split. Like, how dare you? And it's like, these same haters, Shelby, who's been like just so thirsty for attention. I have a lot of empathy for people, for the real victims of Geoffrey, I'll say, Kristen, like his ex-wife that we saw, I didn't know about any of this. And I'm not saying that to dog Geoffrey. I'm not. But like, again, it's not like Geoffrey told me in detail about anything that happened with Kristen or, or his ex-wives or anything. All I knew was that Geoffrey was like, going to court for some stuff that happened between him and a girlfriend at one point. And, that's all I knew.
That's all I knew.
And again, this was not something I'm a blogger. I don't want to get into, into all that craziness. Like I talk about, like, if Geoffrey's fighting with Devin, I'm going to post it. Like that type of shit. You know what I mean? I'm not going to, and as a blogger, it's very hard. And I hope that you guys understand this. Like, when you're actually real friends with cast members, like in real life, the blogger thing goes away, because like with Angela, I could have said so much, but that would, I'm a human being first, and I'm not going to sell anybody out because I'm going to get, this tea on them and ruin them for that. So, there are plenty of times I could have went live about, I was at Angela's house and I saw this, that, and the other. I mean, I could have been getting 100,000 views per live and be making a whole lot more money than I am now. And people always say, well, John's friends with Angela, especially now with her and Michael. John's friends with Angela, he knows the truth. And have you seen me say a goddamn word about it? No. Just like, Geoffrey or Tiffany or anybody, I might come out and defend them. But if I came out with everything I knew, y'all be blown away. But I'm not going to do that, because I care more about Tiffany and Angela, and I love them as friends who we've spent a lot of time with in real life, just like how me and Ashley were friends back in the day. I'm going to defend my friend, and I'm going to, take the blogger hat off and be like, because if I come out, and I talk to a lot of cast, you guys know that, if I come out and tell everything every cast member tells me, I would be rich beyond means of being rich. But then no one is ever going to trust me again, on top of me being the world's most horrible human being. And that's it. There's no other blogger in the 90 Day Fiance world that has been doing this as long as me, who has forged real relationships with cast members, who has traveled around the country to go meet and hang out with them. And, nobody, I'm not even being modest, nobody. It's just me. And if I break that confidence with people, then like no one's, I'll never find out things again, or no one will ever trust me. And it is what it is. So, Brooke, speak for a second so I can take a break, because I need
Sure
like a
will.
minute.
And also, so, I saw a snippet of a live Shelby did, commenting on my participation in that live, and how I told a story that wasn't mine to tell. And she's right. I did. Again, in my defense, it was in a private live that was behind a paywall. In my thought process, I kind of thought that it was secure. Would I have ever told that story on a public platform? Absolutely not. And if you weren't there, I'm not going to say it again. And I'm sorry, I just can't. I really do feel really, what I said was true. What I said, a lot of people know it. And what I said from what I saw Shelby say today in her live was that she knew about it. So what we're getting from all these bloggers now is that Brooke's a mandated reporter. She's a nurse. She should have reported that, and then what goes from there is, let's call her board, let's call her job. It's the threat I constantly get. Shelby is a girl that moved from where she lived in another state to be with Geoffrey. And then things didn't work out. I don't know. He called her all kinds of names. I was friendly with Shelby for a while, and I said she was annoying the other night. Again, I was drinking too. I call a lot of people annoying. We weren't friends per se. I don't think I owed any loyalty to her. I mean, she was really pissed that I said she was annoying. But I consider myself annoying sometimes. I literally will call myself annoying. So when I call somebody annoying, that's probably not the biggest insult that I can give. And I said it, and I'm sorry for saying you're annoying. However, for you to get up there and act like the story I told was secondhand information. I never witnessed anything. Rabbit, if you're watching, how dare you to do this to either John or myself? And
I was nothing but good to Rabbit always. I sent her super chats. I sent all my subs her way. Same thing with Danny. Like, I have been nothing but good to them, and they flip on you like it's no one, because I kind of respected Rabbit. She was like a truth teller, and now you're splicing audio together and splicing comments in a chat to fit a narrative you want. You're no truth teller. You're a piece of shit, just like everybody else.
And then she ends the rest of her live by saying this woman on panel is a nurse, is in the medical profession, and then just goes on to hold me, just like everybody else does in this community, to a higher standard, and with information that's just not true. I can't report hearsay. I can't report a damn thing. And the only reporting I did do was go straight to Shelby, which was the only outlet at the time that I knew that I had. That was somebody that was speaking with the victims.
Rabbit did a lot saying, how young was she, John? Like, really?
That was the whole
Are you
thumbnail.
kidding me?
That was the thumbnail, is how old was she? Because John chose to not speak about it and say anything.
I didn't want to, at the same time, even on a members only live, I was still, I was drinking, and I didn't want to, but I said it the next night, and watch, if you're not in this, if you're not a member, become a member, and you could see it. It's on my members only live. You could see what we said, and these people, I'm sorry, these people are now spitting it like I witnessed the Geoffrey assault, sexually a minor, and I didn't say anything. Are you fucking kidding me?
So who's the real who are the real villains in this story? To me, it's the people making clicks in the, you want to talk about clicks and views? The clicks and the views that are being had by the people that are making these stories up by the little bit of incremental information they got from the members only live that we did, because nothing was ever said. And that was the problem. Had John come out right then and there and said, this is what we saw, just like he did tonight, there probably wouldn't have been an alive. But because
look what Panda said, she's here. She's scheduled live because she's backtracking now. No. Now the rain is coming. I gave you guys a warning. I said, and here's another thing: you cannot play members only lives on your public channel, no matter if you speed up the sound or whatnot. My members only lives are not monetized. They're for my members who pay a certain amount of dollars a month to watch what I have to say. Okay, that's how this works. It's like watching. It's like buying a pay-per-view fight, right? Like Mike Tyson or whoever is on pay-per-view, right? And that's me buying the pay-per-view fight and then broadcasting it on my monetized channel, saying, "Oh, I'll show it to you guys here," and then they're making money off it because it's monetized. This is not how this works. I reached out to YouTube and they said, you're absolutely right, John. I posted that in my community tab. I posted it on my Instagram story. I'm saying, listen, you cannot do this. YouTube gave me the green light to go after you. And I don't want to be the person that's trying to ruin anyone's livelihood or income or whatever. And I've been very, very goddamn kind about this.
But I will tell you who's trying to ruin livelihoods and income are the people that are going forward with this story with half-truths. They get a piece of an equation and they try to finish solving it with their own completion of the information. And I'm sorry, but that doesn't fly. That's actually against the law in civil court. And you're not going to be able to sit there and draw conclusions based on a stolen live that you recorded, or you recorded yourself or had somebody record, to go in and then go from there to try to literally get John in trouble, call a DA. What are you going to call the DA for? Get me in trouble, have your people all in your comments saying she's a mandated reporter, who do we report, or whatever was said. Because it wasn't just said in yours, Rabbits. It was said in this other bitch's live that I'm not going to repeat her name. Sorry, other girl's live that I'm not going to repeat her name because she doesn't deserve the recognition. But the other woman that's completely off her rocker and completely wrong all the time just takes Rabbit's live now. So you got Rabbit making this stuff up. Then you've got this other low bottom of the barrel content creator, we will use that word loosely, taking Rabbit's information. It's like a tall tale. It's like freaking Paul Bunyan. It's like, or telephone, or whatever you want to call it. It's like one person gets this information and then they are like, ooh, just chomping at the bit to get to go tell a disparaging story about John.
I am just thoroughly disgusted with Rabbit and Sewell, especially Sewell. I mean, like, you know, and I hate to even mention this girl on a public live, but like for her to go on this live and say, I witnessed Geoffrey strong R word a minor girl and I didn't say anything about it. And that's what Shelby just did tonight. I mean, like, and like, listen, now the rain's coming because, all these people want to ruin me. And this is what, the petition didn't work. The tweets and the cancel John Yates didn't work and all that. And here I still am. So yeah, let's bump it up. And let me say something about Shelby real quick. This is a woman who had a threesome with Geoffrey and Mary, who moved from Florida to Tennessee to be closer to Geoffrey. I'm not saying that Geoffrey is like the world's greatest guy, but everything Geoffrey said about this woman is absolutely correct. I even talked to baby girl Lisa yesterday, and she had to tell her off and block her. Shelby is a crazy person who just wants her name in the lights. Geoffrey got 18 years in prison, hard time, no parole, has to serve every second of it. So you would think Shelby would be like, okay, I'm a victim, right? I'm a victim of his. But why is she making up things now about me? Because she doesn't want her fame to end. And that's what this is. And that's what the problem with this cancel culture is. Like, once you get what you want,
maybe she needs
18 it's still not enough. It's still not enough because you're a whistleblower. You're this, you're that. You got the job done. You got Geoffrey in jail for 18 years, hard time.
But, no, she was just a cheerleader for the whole fucking thing. Yeah, what do you mean?
Why? So you think she'd be like, okay, I got my piece. I'm good with this.
Move on with your life.
But now it's, oh, let me try to keep my name still going in the spotlight because I don't want to be forgotten about. And that's what this shit is. And I'm fucking sorry.
What happened to the GoFundMe? Didn't she have a whole GoFundMe and raise a bunch of money to go to this trial? And I know it got sent back and I know things, whatever, but I could have sworn she had bought tickets and blah, blah, blah. It was all in her stories. She says I stalk her stories, according to her. No, I just watch everybody's stories. And sometimes my phone just plays stories by themselves. But anyway, and then she couldn't be there because she lost her debit card or something. But like, I'm sorry. I don't know why Ashley per se has a right to contact us and give us grief. But Shelby just coming out of anywhere and then going on Rabbit's comments and saying she cursed us out in DMs, like bragging about it. First of all, John never even listened to any of them. Well, he listened to a few because I played them for him. Second,
I hate listening to it, and I hate
wasn't going to respond to you.
I those voices go right through me because I'm like, and like that's why I stay away from all this shit. That's why I'm barely on Instagram. That's why we have been concentrating on amazing content lately. Like the last 2 weeks, like the stuff that and that's what I want to do, and that's why my supporters have been like so like happy. Like, John, you're doing the right thing. You know, you're concentrating on the stuff that like we followed you for to begin with. We don't want to hear about you fighting with other YouTubers. And they're right. They shouldn't have to hear me fighting with other YouTubers. They shouldn't, because
Guilty.
I didn't build my platform off beefs with other people, much like other YouTubers are doing as we speak.
I can't say anything.
Sorry, Brooke. But
he's right.
I talked to Brooke about this, and you know, me and Brooke had this amazing story with like Gino and Jasmine, and I told Brooke, I'm like, listen, like, you know, you can be a professional blogger and like, you know, stick with me and like let's get the you know the stuff out about the shows. Like, we have enough connections, like let's do it. And like it saddens me to like have to even mention these people, because I don't want them thinking that they're taking up space in my head, because at the end of the day they're not. But now I have to address this because I'm getting railroaded, because now I'm accused of witnessing an RAPE against a minor. So now my hands are tied. So now I have to say something, because and that's what they want, because here I am talking about it. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And I hate it. Like, you know, and now I am going balls out. Like, you know, if you watch the members only lives, which are still on my channel, you can watch them right now. We never said anything about any type of like R or minor or nothing. Even Siwa, when she went on that live the other night, right, and said that I'm so disgusted, John Yates and blah 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 and all that, and she had to shut the comments off in her post, because she's still. Even Rabbit said John never said underage, and
But
that's not good
Siwa
enough.
was going to take it because she hates me so much that, Brooke, how long have you held Geoffrey's secrets? You're just going to hold your secrets to yourself? And I'm going to say it again. Absolutely not. And I'm not going to repeat the story, and I'm sorry. But what I heard and what I was told, I went first of all, Phil knew about it immediately. I went straight to Phil. Then I went straight to Shelby. I did not hold anything and covet a secret of a story like the one I told the other night that I heard from a person that was there, and hold it in to protect Geoffrey. Does not anybody know what the timeline was at this time? John and Geoffrey were besties. Geoffrey and I had stopped our friendship, and especially when he went over to John's, because John and I didn't like each other. So we were opposing forces then.
Again, like I never, you know, me and Geoffrey didn't speak about that stuff. Like I knew, like in like, you know, I knew that there was like, you know, some stuff going on, right? But Geoffrey always told me he was innocent. They were conspiring, you know, his exes were conspiring against him. And, you know, he, you know, and I had to kind of believe Geoffrey to a certain point, because Geoffrey was offered, you know, no jail time and probation. And he's like, I don't even want that on my record. He's, I'm going to fight this tooth and nail. And that, to me,
screamed innocence
even more. Like,
same,
you know,
with me. I was friends with him then too. He told me, I was like, damn.
If you could take a plea deal with no jail time but he fought it. I'm like, well, if he's fighting it this hard, when
it must be true.
It must be true.
Yeah, he must be innocent.
And anybody would think that way. So yeah, and I'm not even trying to say, you know, I still like him. Like, you know, I'm not trying to make it seem like I'm going against Geoffrey or whatever. And you know, and again, it's hard for us as a friend. Like, I'm a friend, you know, I've never witnessed this in my life. I never seen somebody go to court and, you know, have this stuff. And, you know, and then I was trying to be fair, like on all sides, because people say like, oh, John will just listen to Geoffrey no matter what he says. And the point of that live, that members only private live that we did, I'm like, you know what, guys, you know, when I was there, I kind of saw a couple of things that, like, you know, lined up with what the victims were saying, taking their side, not Geoffrey's. And that's still not good enough. Not only is that not good enough, they're going to spin this as saying I witnessed him or a minor. You know, and after seeing like the stuff that, you know, in court and the pictures, yeah, I do believe that happened that night. I may not believe with the sentence that he got. Like, I think that was like, you know, aggressive. And I think the judge knew he was on TV and like wanted to like go like all gone with the wind with it, you know. But, you know, I do believe that he should have been, you know, punished for that. But not 18 years. Like, you know, Ashley had told me, like, right before Geoffrey's court case, you know, the case heard before that was that there was a man that shot his girlfriend in the heart and killed her. And that guy got 20 years with parole. So a murderer got less time than Geoffrey did right before Geoffrey's hearing. So I don't know. You know, but.
And just now, as we speak, see what, since you're listening, since you're such a stalker, you don't watch anything, but yet your community tab just 1 minute ago says, and I quote, I'm just going to read a little bit of it. Ratchet said, and I'm not going to read all of it. Geoffrey admitted it to her, XXXXX, whatever else. See, well, this is what your problem fucking is. Okay. I never said Geoffrey admitted shit to me. Geoffrey never admitted this to me. This was third or secondhand information from a third party. It was not Geoffrey. Are you that inept that you don't understand what third party means? It means that the two parties involved did not tell me. Third party would be a third person place that told me.
Yeah,
so before you better go delete your community tab because you're already in some hot water. Okay, that is not, delete it now. I never said it and you never heard it, which is why you reported it falsely. Go delete your community tab because shit's about to get real for you.
Oh my God. Okay, so she's saying, John Deere, I never said you saw Geoffrey strong R word anyone. What are you talking about? You said you observed him doing something to a young girl while you never. Like, okay.
Never said that either.
Never said that either. And like, you know, she deleted all the comments in our posts because she, you know, they were saying, we have rabbits saying that John never said underage anything. And she deleted everything. Oh my God. I can't with these people. So here's what's going to happen. Oh my God. I need a break. I can't.
So take a break.
Ratchet asked if you were in high school. You didn't respond. No, Heidi asked me, was she a minor? I said no. So if you're a minor, you're in high school. Like, what is wrong with her? But listen, if everybody has, I'm going to post these lives from Rabbit and Siwa on YouTube. And I'm going to post them on Twitter. I'm going to tag them. And I'm going to ask YouTube team support to help me take those lives down because they're lies. And I mean, it's breaking every, you know, rule. Copyright infringement, like posting stuff from my private lives on your main channel that's monetized, defamation. I'm gonna tweet them all now once we get off. And I mean, like, that's my only recourse right now. And like, I have not done this at this point because if I, you know, I have a lot of followers. So if I post something, I know how this works. I've been at this for 10 years. If I tweet that someone's saying something bad about me, then everybody will go and follow them. But at this point, I kind of have no choice. So I'm going to put these all on Twitter and I'm going to tag Team YouTube and Rabbit, Siwa, whoever, Shelby, whoever else is spreading these lies that I witnessed Geoffrey are a minor. I mean, I don't know what more to do at this point. You know, these are people like Siwa who just will just say anything about me because, you know, that's all she's got.
She's obsessed with both of us, John. Just let's be honest.
Yeah, it's an obsession. Like, you know, and like, let me ask you guys something. I hate a lot of people in my oh God, I hate people. Like, when I hate somebody and I want to close the book, I don't spend every second of my day thinking about them, following their every move, you know, looking at their comments. Like, I don't like, you know, and it's a sin because all this stuff is being muddied up because they know that we have real content, but they want to muddy that up and cancel and this, that, and the other. I have done nothing wrong. And all you guys here know that. My members, Brooke, Monica, Heidi, whoever, Maria, whoever else, Julie, like, you know, I haven't lost anybody because this is old hat at this point. Like, people are always going to be trying to lie about me and screw me over. And I really goddamn hate that we have to do this on a public live. But here we are because now all these allegations are coming up against us. Like, and these are bad allegations that I witnessed a grown man or a high school kid. And I'm not supposed to say anything about this now because they know that I have to say something now. They make it to the, you know, that petition's not working out. The cancel John Yates isn't working out because everybody knows I didn't do anything wrong. And here I still am. And like I am just so thoroughly disgusted and disappointed by this because
So, and then meanwhile, Rabbit and Phil et al. Are going to now the DA to try to get John and I in some kind of trouble.
Let's talk about that for a second. The DA asked for 16 years. The judge gave an extra 2 on top of it. Do you think the DA is going to care?
Furthermore, we didn't do a damn thing wrong. It's not my responsibility for that.
So Rabbit reached out to the DA to say to them, "Oh, John saw Geoffrey take someone's phone away." Could you? I worked in law as a court reporter and a paralegal. Laughable. No DA would, you know, the case is closed as for right now.
And unless the other victim that we talked about the other night comes forward, there won't be another case. I can't make a case happen because I don't know the girl's name. I don't know her location. And I didn't then. How was I supposed to report anything? Even if I wanted to. Plus, it was hearsay. So go knock yourself out, Rabbit. Go tell the DA all kinds of shit. You're going to make yourself look more stupid than you already do.
Well, you know, the petition's not working. You can't do like 5 to 6, 7 lives in a row saying cancel John Yates on a petition. And when nobody cares about the petition, like, let's move on to the next thing. Oh, now John witnessed this. Like, oh my God, I am as bad as Hitler, guys. I am right underneath him. I am with all my atrocities towards mankind. Like, I am right below him. And that's how it works. Like, you know, it is what it is, you know.
No, Coco Mojito, no. Yahoo Boy is not saying he knew anything about it. He's going in the comments in Rabbit's stream, egging her on to call the district attorney and acting like he knew none the wiser when he knew the same exact day that I did. Because the first person I told when I got permission to tell him was Phil. What was that? I want y'all to understand.
Phil,
I got that information.
Everyone that he's friends with now spoke vehemently against him, but it doesn't matter. Like the flip-flopping, like, you know, I've had my core group of people, and yes, have I made friends with people who like were against me? Absolutely. Brooke's one of them. But you know, Shelly, you know, but I've always had my same mods. I've always had my same core. Like no one's ever, you know, it's crazy. Like, you know, Phil will piss somebody off one day and then they'll hate him and then be like, if it serves their need, then like they'll take him back. And like it's like that's like the Jen Bailey, like it's like the same flip-flopping, like, it is what it is. Like, I am going to keep putting out good content. Like, me and Brooke have a good thing tomorrow. I have another interview scheduled for Wednesday with a cast member. Like, I'm going to keep putting out the stuff that you all follow me for. And I told Brooke the same thing. I'm like, let's just concentrate on, good stuff. A wig, I know that wig is still going live. Like, when do you ever hear me talking about wig? When do you ever hear me talking about her or her husband or anybody else? And then she wants to sue me and Julie, like, the person who's like so lawsuit happy, like, she's got 300,000 subs. Like, why am I taking up so much headspace in your head? Why? Like, it's the same reason why she had to ruin Monica. She ruined Monica with Nosy, and now she's trying to ruin me with the people that sued her. I mean, like, she is the most insecure human being I have never met, and so is everyone attached to her. I don't talk about her. I don't care about her. Like, she gets 20, 30, 40,000 views per live. I get like, 7, 8, 9,000. Like, why is she so worried about me? Why? Because she is an insecure.
Because you have connections, John. Because you have the real connections. She has to rely on
page 6.
Secondhand information. Speaking of secondhand information. That's why.
And I really want to thank everybody for like just sticking by us. And, I know my members and I know you guys. And, if I was guilty of everything all these people said about me, nobody would be here. Nobody. Not a soul. I would have like 3 viewers like Amzi does when she goes live. Okay?
God love her.
I mean, that's truth. I would have 3 viewers. If I was this horrendous human being short of Hitler. But you guys are still here and you know the truth. And I'm happy that I have like the smartest people around me and can see through things. And but I and again, thank you, Jennifer. I never ever wanted to go live about this. Like, we did the live about 90 Day with Lindsay and Gino and Jasmine tonight, and like as I was going live, Shelby was saying that that point blank, not even alleged, I witnessed it. And that's that's where I had to draw a line. And in case you guys don't think I'm screwing around, call the Seaside Heights police tomorrow or tonight and ask for a case number. Because I'm not going after bullshit lawsuits like, I'm going for criminal charges. That's what I'm doing right now. And I have an open case number. Call the Seaside Heights police. You've all sent the cops here a million times. You all had them on speed dial, right? Call
FOIA that.
I have an active criminal case now because lawsuits, nobody gives a fuck. I want these people in handcuffs. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, call them right now and ask for the case number because I am not fucking lying. And I say that with every fiber in my being. I am not lying. And lawsuits don't faze anybody. But you know what? Handcuffs will. And I have an open, active harassment case. And if you don't believe me, call the fucking cops where I live. You all know the fucking number. I am not fucking around anymore. You don't want to keep fucking with me? That's it. You want to use the cops that harass us? You want to hear this? Last Monday, we got the cops here sent again. Because someone called the FBI saying that me and Cody were what was the word, Cody?
Harvesting.
Not harvesting, storing guns in our house, and that we were mentally unstable. And then we had the whole fleet come here. And I didn't say anything about it because I don't want people to think they're getting the best of us. I didn't say a word about it. And I said,
Harboring. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah,
Harboring.
Stockpiling guns. And they called the FBI. The FBI called our police. And the police came, like the whole fleet. Like our house, it looked like I didn't even give you like a visual. And waiting for me to react, and I didn't say anything about it. This is 2 weeks ago now on Monday. And then I said, guys, come in. We had all of them in our house on our couches. And I go, let me play you something. And I was playing the videos off Yahoo's page with his FOIA requests saying, these people call the cops on us, and then they post it to YouTube and make fun of us. And that's what started the investigation. So if you think that we're screwing around right now, call the cops again and get the case number.
He told me the morning it happened.
Yeah. And I told everybody don't say a word. And I played the one from all the posts of the cops, the FOIA requests and all that.
Everything off your page, Phil.
Everything off Phil's page, and then he started deleting stuff. But they already have it.
That's not what FOIA requests are for. They're not meant to harass. They're not meant to put on YouTube for clicks and views.
And I said to the cops, I'm like, and like the cops came here again, like, we know that this is like a thing, but, we still have to come. I go, guys, I appreciate you. I have cops in my family. I know that they have to come here. I go, but, God forbid, like there's like a real emergency in this town. Like, what if somebody got murdered or whatever? You're here with this bullshit welfare check. And like, God forbid somebody else really needs the cops at their house at that point. And then they were like, yeah. And they're like, we don't know about this. I go, oh, you don't know about it? Oh, come in. Cody. We had 4 cops on our couches. I took a picture of it. But, and I played Yahoo's community tab of the FOIA request and all that. I go, now what do you think about this? And that's what started the harassment case. When we had all the cops in our house on our couches, when they called the FBI on us, like on Monday, like last Monday.
Of course, yeah. Like, what? Do you want to know their names? Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I heard they were cuties.
Of course, duh. Do you want to show them? Do you want to show them like?
And you guys know I have went to the cops so many times and tried to start harassment things, and they wouldn't hear it. And now finally they were like, wow, okay, now, so yeah. And call them some, you guys have them on speed dial, call them right now and see, like, is there an active case?
Do you want to show them this, John?
Oh, here, give it to me. Here you go.
There's the case number.
Case number right there. It's a little smudge, but because it was snowing. But there's the case number right there. That's what the cop gave me. And all these people, I'm not going for lawsuits. I'm going for criminal charges. I want you in handcuffs. I want you in jail. Fuck lawsuits.
We don't need your money.
And Sherelle,
we need you.
If you want to do the same fucking shit, I can't wait to see you in jail, and I can't wait to see that mugshot. if you want to keep this going on. Because I keep getting messages about Sherelle talking about me. I go, when do I ever talk about Sherelle? When? When do I ever talk about Sherelle, guys?
Oh yeah, that's another thing Siwa was doing. It was like, oh yeah, John, you said she doesn't even know I exist. Well, look at this. There are the comments, and she's saying my name. If that's the kind of clout you want to stick to, girl, go ahead. That is not anything to brag about.
I am not fucking around anymore. And now, if you guys have a Twitter, I'm going to be tweeting Siwa's and Rabbit's lives about me to Team YouTube. And I hope that everybody retweets it and gets that going, because I am done taking this shit. I'm done. You know, it's like nothing works. You can't. Just leave me alone. Like, I don't know why Sherelle needs to keep talking about me. Why does Perry have to keep talking about me? Like, you make so much money off YouTube. Like, why am I a thought in your brain?
Because you're adding to their money.
But you know,
you're adding to their money. That's
and
why.
Don't think for 1 second I want to have Monica on the stand and everybody else that you know. I at this point, it's all now. I'm going all in. Rabbit wants to splice audio saying, how young was she? I never said anything. All I said is that I witnessed something. Oh my God.
And then C is doubling down on her community tab right now, saying, I did say that. I did.
Well,
she didn't hear it. She didn't watch it herself. So you can't report. You can't take yourself seriously, Zero, right?
You know, I really can't stand Amber Roberts, because she was another person that called the cops on me. But I know that Amber Roberts is looking into Siwa's alleged SA and
sure
trying, you know, because that's all a lie.
And I'll also say that Amber today during her live said, how dare you, Siwa, say shit about John whenever you're the biggest hypocrite ever because of some other, she made some racial slurs today. And so, you know, how dare you be this hypocrite that sits, like, you don't even report on the facts, you report on things you want to do to hurt people. Like, you're it's just so maddening to see that you're saying and doubling down on your comments when you didn't hear me say it. You've said it just now in your community tab. You didn't hear it, but you want it to be the truth. You want us to be villains so that you're going to report it that way. Well, honey, there's a place for people like you.
Live, like Siwa Moon is a complete liar. Like, you know, lied about the whole live. She deleted every comment saying that Rabbit never said that. Never, you know, John never said that. She deleted all those comments. And she's a liar.
Huge liar. Pathological.
You know, as much as I can't stand Amber Roberts, I also hope that she really puts a spotlight on what she was basing this whole thing on, like, you know, I has essayed, and well, there's a different story. And, you know, she is a pathological liar.
And Amber did. Amber wrote the guy in prison today because Siwa said on her live, whatever she's talking about this case that she was involved in, that the DA lied and presented her as the girlfriend.
Thank you, Marissa. She
literally said the DA lied in a murder trial to convict a man to life in prison. So Amber said, well, from your own words, you said the district attorney lied on this case that you were involved in. So, I mean, what kind of a citizen am I going to be if I just allow somebody to rot in prison for life when you know there was a lie going on in the courtroom? So nobody needs to believe a fucking word Siwa Moon says, okay? She is a scammer. She wants people to, she wants to latch onto people that are in loss or just lost a loved one to try to scam money out of them for spells that don't work.
Right.
Like, this woman needs to be banished, speaking of banished and witches, off of YouTube, man, because this woman is a disgrace to anybody that wants to tell the truth. Where do I know that name from?
Ghost.
Okay.
Well, at least Oda Mae got it right with Patrick Swayze. I'm just saying, like, you know, Oda Mae Brown before Patrick Swayze come up.
Where did that name come from?
I'm just saying, but like, I am done. And like, I'm going on Twitter as this live ends, and I will be tagging these lives, Rabbit, Siwa, Shelby, whomever, and I want Team YouTube to take everything down. And it's only fair. They're breaking every rule, like especially posting my members only lives on their public channels where they're getting monetized from. You can't fucking do that. And
Double
YouTube
dip.
said you can't fucking do it. And I still said, like, you know what? I really don't want to like screw with anybody's money. And you know, they're still doubling down, and now I have no fucking choice. I have no choice, but to, and I would hate to, you know, put this on Twitter and have people follow them, because I know how people are and they're nosy and they'll just sub to whatever, because like that's, you know, they're, you know, whatever. But at this point now, I need some type of change. So I know I have a following on Twitter. And I hope that everybody retweets whatever I say about it, and let's really get like this shit taken care of, because I can't do this for another second. Like, you know, and we've had such a great week. Like me and Brooke, Maria, Heidi, you know, whoever else, you know, just concentrating on like real content, like the Jasmine and Gino stuff. Like, you know, we have like a story with Angela. We have a story with Kimberly, you know, and you know. That's what I want to focus on. I don't want to focus on some low-grade YouTubers with 1,000 subs talking about me all the time. I'm so much better than you are. I'm sorry, but I am. But these people who don't have content or talent have to use my name to get views, and then say like the world's worst things about me. Like Rabbit was saying, have your pets sign the petition. I played it on the members only live, and I'm not going to play it now because I'll get struck by her. But go to the members only live. She literally said, have your pets sign this petition.
That's not the way a petition works.
No, it isn't. And everybody, please go to change.org and report that. And if you want Rabbit saying that, have your pet sign this petition, I will be happy to send it to you. Yeah, I'm not lying. I played it on the members only live twice. So you're supposed to take that petition seriously? Like, okay.
Wow.
And I really want this to be the last time we publicly or privately speak about these horrendous human beings who don't care about anything but making money. These greedy fucks. They don't care about like what the truth is. They just care about clicks and views. Saying John Ard, an underage child, or John witnessed Geoffrey.
Well, you know, now her new title is Deflection. Who said anything about underage?
Look at moderator 148's page on Instagram. She has all the comments before Siwa deleted them all. So she can backtrack all she wants, but we have it. We have it all. We have it all.
And I'll also say that Rabbit, since you want to say deflection, like you started your live with me talking. You started your live with my commentary in a private live about something that I heard that happened from somebody that was there. And what you did was take that whole shit, aside from what you said from John, which was equally deplorable, but I couldn't listen to your whole live. You literally took that and made it sound like we were coveting secrets to keep Geoffrey safe. That's a bullface lie. So title your shit whatever you want. Put your little thumbnails up however you want. But the bottom line is, Rabbit, is that once upon a time I had utmost respect for you.
I did too. I sent all my mods. Like I sent I'm like, follow Rabbit, follow her. Half her subs are from me. Half her members are from me. Like I sent her so many super chats, you know, and Like I didn't do anything to this girl. Nothing.
And neither did I. And for
She called a
her,
racist for she wants to call me a racist. She put fried chicken around 822's head because he's black.
oh no. I thought it was bananas.
Whatever.
Bananas and a monkey.
She did that.
Do you want to
Let's not forget when Danny Robertson and Rabbit were going after because they were doxing each other. Let's not forget that. And now they're all thick as thieves because they all want to make money off me as a group. Oh my God, I can't. Like it's so fucking ridiculous.
So there you are, Rabbit, up there on your platform, slandering my professionalism again with your subs. I mean, with your comments, and then taking the people that were commenting and blasting their comments and twisting them the way you wanted to. That's not journalism, honey. And what I did think that what you did once upon a time was respectable and was truthful. And now you're just one of the other liars.
See, like, here's the thing, like, you know, Rabbit and Danny, like, they based all their shit off Nosy Hole. Like, Nosy was, like, the thing. Like, let's, like, you know, get Nosy Ho. And, like, and I can't say
that's exactly when I followed her.
I was all for it. Like, Nosy Ho said horrible things about me and lied. So when they were, like, saying, like, Nosy Ho is the worst, I'm like, yes, she is. Everybody listen to what Danny and Rabbit's saying because they're
speaking the truth. For 5 minutes.
Now, and like when the Nosy Ho thing faded out, because nobody cares about the Monica and Nosy thing. You know, no one's talking about Monica anymore on YouTube because, like, you know, Monica doesn't go live on YouTube anymore because that ruined her. No, you know, like, you know, and that was very unfair to Monica. That's why I will always have Monica's back, and that's why I was like one of the only people to see, me and Heidi went live and stood up for Monica. When the shit with the panel first happened. I was like, you know, I have known Monica for 7 goddamn years and she has been nothing but amazing to me. And I was on her panel, you know, and I'm like, I had to say something. Sherelle had to talk me out of it. Perry, you can't talk about Monica in a good light. It's career suicide. I go, well, I'm doing it and I don't care because that's my friend. And I will go to bat for any fucking friend when I know the truth. And, like, you know, then the day after, and I can show you the screenshots, the text that Sherelle sent me, I had to take you off my panel now, John, because you spoke about Monica. I'm like, but you're supposed to be on the live with me, which Rabbit showed. And you know what? That was, I did the live on Sunday, me and Heidi, about Monica. Then it was supposed to be me and Sherelle speaking kindly about Monica. Then the next day, Sherelle told me, you're dropped from the panel. Then the next day, she was asking me to come up and talk about Beverly Hills. So figure that shit out.
And see what you can backpedal all you want to in your diary. It doesn't matter.
Maureen.
We're still putting your shit on YouTube. I mean, on Twitter. We are still going to flag YouTube's whatever.
No, I'm flagging it. Like, that's it. Like, I want your
like,
channel.
Dawn, just find anywhere I played your members only live, a picture or audio or video. I never did.
No, I'm flagging you because you said that I'm so disgusted. I'm so mad. John Yates saw, and like that again.
Nurse Ratchet coveted a crime, an R, and Geoffrey told her himself, no, bitch. Once again, you're wrong. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
She deleted all her comments, Brooke.
I didn't talk to Geoffrey then.
She deleted all the comments. Look at Julie's page. Look at Julie. Here, I'll show it now. Oh my God, here. Fine.
Geoffrey never told me anything himself.
Here, let me go to Julie's page. She has.
She did play the audio last night, didn't she, Cooch? Yeah, she did. In our last night stream. Let me go ahead and copy and send you that one before it gets deleted. Is that the one? Yeah. That's last night.
Okay, here's here are the comments that are now deleted by Siwa because she couldn't take the truth. I'll read them out loud for you guys. Like, you know, it's also on Julie's page. I don't have the energy to like get on the overlay right now, but it's on Moderator 140's page on Instagram. So, you know, John Doe says, you really need to go back and listen because what you said was wrong. He never said anything about our word or that girl was underage. He said she was in her 20s and he didn't say what happened, which we said now for the third time tonight. He said she was, and didn't know what happened. You can hate someone all day long, but right is right. Also, that was members only live. Again, you didn't share it, but you wouldn't want your members only live shared. He's 100% never said anything about underage or what exactly happened. Just something that bothered him. Geoffrey is horrible, but we can go around saying stuff that isn't true no matter who it is. Okay. And then Siwa's reply is, go watch Rabbit's stream. And yes, I was sent the stream he deleted. He did say she was underage. Nice try. Like right there. Go to Julie's page, please. I mean, I can't blow
Moderator
it up.
148 for anybody.
Moderator 148.
On Instagram.
And then they're saying he did not. So nice try to you. He said young, and then someone asked him age, and he said 22. He never said underage. I watched the whole thing, not bits and pieces. If he said underage and you have it, play it, and then I will shut my mouth, which she couldn't because I never said it. I have the screenshot of her saying that was ever said by Rubbers. You know, now he's saying, I have the screenshot of her saying that was never said from Rabbit herself. Might want to delete this girl. And then the cool guy was saying to Rabbit, right there, where on here did he say underage? Because I saw people saying he said underage, and I didn't hear that. Just wondering if I'm crazy. I heard young, and then he said in her 20s, not underage, which I said from jump, in her 20s, 25. From fucking jump. I heard young, and then he said he was in his 20s, not underage. I am talking about the girl John talked about. And Rabbit says, no one said underage. Please go back and listen to it. No one said underage.
Well, thank you, Rabbit, for
and now those are all deleted. Why are those all deleted?
Because she doesn't want the truth to be out.
Where's that? Hey, Siwa, since you're in your diary right now, why don't you explain to everybody why why you deleted everything? Because we have it here. Right here in black and white. All the stuff you deleted. So
it just proves that that's what she's out to do, is, for lack of a better term,
even
on a witch hunt.
Her contents, you know, what you in her diary tonight, what is she saying? I never said you saw Geoffrey's show. What are you talking about? You said you observed him doing something to a young girl while you were there. Ratchet asked if you were in high school. You didn't respond. Heidi said under 18, didn't respond. Yes, I did. I did no. Over and over and over again. Oh my God. I'm so fucking tired of all this shit. Of these low-grade YouTubers. Like, you're a witch. Go fucking cast a spell. Go.
I mean, just go away.
You're like a witch. Like, it's like, you know, Rabbit, like, you know, you want to be a truth teller? And I see Rabbit's page. She's talking about Tasha K. She's getting views. And, you know, but don't lie. Like, you know, I always respected Rabbit because I thought she never lied. And here
Me too. Lying on both of us.
Yeah, splicing audio. Because at the end of the day, she's no better than anybody else.
And that's a real big
audio.
shame.
And I'm going to repost the first live that people thought I deleted. And then everybody is going to see what liars all these motherfuckers are. It's not going to matter, though. I mean, look at all the damage we did tonight, like showing what the world, you know, what these people are really about. Like, when you put the truth back in their face, they'll just pivot and deflect and go. They want to say we're deflecting. I am always 100% honest, and I always am, and I always will be.
If we're deflecting, they're projecting. So how about that? They're projecting. Backpedaling, crawfishing, however you want to put it. I mean, for those in the South, you know what crawfishing means. No, you need to go and you need to go on your platforms and say we made a mistake. Do the ethical thing. If we're all journalists here, if that's what you want to call it, freelance journalism, then do the ethical thing and be an ethical journalist and say you made a mistake and that you took snippets of a live that you had no business participating in because all you were doing was recording it for your own channel. And then maybe you should make a statement and say you were wrong because what you did was just another witch hunt on John. And it's obvious. And it's sad because you had a reputation, Rabbit, not the other, because her reputation has been mud forever because she is known as the biggest liar on the internet. But Rabbit, you had a reputation and you really blew it with this one. And you really blew it putting everybody's comments up in your video, trying to weaponize their comments, trying to attack John's subs. And I stand by every last one of them, tooth and nail. And what you really should do to be an ethical person, like I thought you once were, would be to go to retract the statements that you made, not concentrate on the little technicalities that may or may not have been said by you, but was derived by your video from other low-grade, gross content creators that don't take a bath or that take
as much
baths
as
that still smell.
I can't forgive certain people for things they've done. Like Dee, like I will never forgive her. Like, I feel bad for her plight right now. And but I can never be friends with, I never even talked to Dee to begin with. So when she called the cops on me, I can never forgive that. Like it is what it is. She apologized. Like just like with Amber. Like I can't forgive anybody calling the police to my house trying to get me and Cody either shot or arrested or whatnot on bullshit welfare checks. I'm sorry, I can't. But I promise you that when Amber Roberts does and gets the real skinny on you, I will happily share it because you reap what you sow, and I want everybody to know what this woman's about. Like, there's things you can't forgive in life. Like, I will never forgive anybody who wants to call the cops to my house for a bullshit welfare check and put me and my husband's life in jeopardy. I can't do that. And
that's my fault.
I can't do that, and it is what it is, but I can't talk to those people. Calling, and that's why we have an active harassment case going on with my police station right now because they're sick of it too. I will be more than happy to share when they put the spotlight on who you really are. And, and it's not just Dee or Amber Roberts. We've had multiple people. And it's an ongoing thing, and I can't really say much more about it. But it is what it is. And, people are like, oh, you take things to real life, people calling the FBI to our house and saying that like we're hoarding guns and we're gonna shoot a school up. That was the words. I'm gonna shoot a high school up with the guns that we're hoarding in our house. And then we have a fleet of police come to our door. And then we live in like in a little community here when the cops are at our house every 5 seconds, like what does that like make the neighbors think of us? Like they think we're drug dealers. You know, like why are the cops always here? So, you know, and I try to keep it together, and like you see me go ape shit, and like, you know, especially that night or the morning when I did like that very manic live where I said certain things that I'm not happy I said. You know, when I showed the proof that these people who were harassing my grandfather, who was 77 years old, and he was hospitalized because they kept harassing him, and all that set me off. And I don't even want to talk about it. But we're all still here, and you guys know the truth, and it's like, you know, it doesn't matter what it takes. I'm like Perez Hilton. Like, you know, I wonder if Perez Hilton had this stuff happen to him. Like, has Perez Hilton had all like these welfare checks? Like why am I this big? I don't get it. I'm a low grade YouTuber who, you know, I don't get like 100,000 views per every live. I'm lucky if I break 5,000 views. But and all these people are getting into bed, like Rabbit's getting into bed with these people who sent police to our house. That's the truth. Rabbit is in bed with people who call fake welfare checks to our house.
I think she canceled her live. I think Rabbit canceled her live.
I want to wrap
chat for me and tell me if I'm just not seeing it right. I don't see it scheduled anymore.
I want to wrap this up. I don't want to keep going. We're, you know, like, you know, I don't want to keep going all night. I just want to. And again, I never want to speak publicly or privately about this ever again. I will go on Twitter right now. Twitter.
Twitter.
Ew, heebity bibbity. I'm going on Twitter. Ew, no, I'm going on Twitter now.
We're going to tweet on Twitter.
It is preposterous. But I had to, like, you know, hone in like my Maggie Smith, like my inner Maggie, you know, Maggie Smith, my Professor McGonagall, and I'm going on Twitter now. And again, I hate posting anything publicly about these people because it sends people to their page, and it sends followers and subs and, you know, whatnot. But now I have to, and I'm going on Twitter right now when this live ends, and I'm going to be tagging Team YouTube and YouTube support on all these videos. I hope you guys retweet me and put comments in, because this is bullshit and you all know it. And I don't want to, you know, that's it. When we do our after shows are about, like, you know, talking about things we just said on the live that we couldn't say, like, on the public thing, because, like, you know, you can't curse, you can't say this, you can't say that, you know, whatever. But I will be doing that on Twitter right now. So if you are on Twitter, please follow me and please retweet and help me get these lives taken down of this stuff saying that I witnessed Geoffrey, strong R word, a minor in the house, and I didn't say anything. So let's get this done. So tomorrow night, guys, we're going to be talking about, I'll be live on Brooke's channel. We're doing a live about Angela. So
content on my channel, y'all.
that you subscribe to Brooke on Instagram and YouTube. And then tomorrow night on my channel, we will be doing the recap that we didn't do tonight because we had Lindsay on the whole time, which I'm not complaining about. I loved it. I loved every second of it.
I love Lindsay.
I didn't want to do the recap because I thought it would be a disservice to Lindsay by tying her into Ben and Mahogany. It's like I would rather give her the spotlight than her sharing that with Ben and Mahogany or Memphis and Hamza. I wanted she put it all out there. So tomorrow night on my channel we will be doing the recap. And also Sister Wives. So, and we're going to concentrate on the good content that we've been pushing out. And that's all I care about. I don't care about these people. I don't want these people to think that that I think about them all the time. They have no space in my head. All I think about is a good story, something that's fun that people could watch and enjoy. And I want, things that we can laugh about, and I want to keep moving forward. We've had a great run, especially with everybody in the world trying to take me out for bullshit, petitions, and whatever else. I really want to keep moving forward in that, and we are. And I promise y'all, this will be the last time I publicly and privately say something about them because I am done. I am done. I know I said I'm done before, but I'm done. The only reason why we did this live tonight was to just squash any of this Geoffrey stuff going on, and I think we did, and we're good. I'm not doing the afterlife now because I'm tired, and it's 1:00 in the morning, and
I'm tired too.
We'll do an afterlife tomorrow. I am just over it, and I want to go to bed. So my brain hurts, my soul hurts, my spirit hurts, and I now need to go on Twitter. Ew, I have to go on Twitter.
Ooh, we're going to tweet on Twitter.
So no, I have to go on. So I hope that everybody follows me on Twitter. Here we go. Twitter.
Thank you, Coco Mojito.
Twitter.com/John Yates 327. And I'm putting these defamatory lives and tagging Team YouTube in them. And hopefully they do something about it because I've tried. So guys, have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.
Bye, everybody. See y'all
Bye,
tomorrow.
guys.